What's bloody going on, you bloody legends? Well, we all know I don't mind getting into a bit of biffo on the internet, so here we go again. This is going to be a long one, so swipe up now if you've got the attention span of a goldfish. I'll see you next time. As you know, because we've been banging on about it for a couple of months now, we have a petition going in the New South Wales Parliament to get a conversation going about New South Wales national parks, their management and our access. Firstly, congratulations to you guys. We've got the 20k signatures required to have it heard in Parliament, so that is the start. Well done. I believe I can speak for Tony from the outer side who started the petition. This isn't something we've done for clout, to get followers or anything like that. It's actually been quite stressful on some occasions, copying the flack, speaking out for what we believe in. We're doing this to protect yours, our friends and our children's rights to access public land in the future. Simple as that. Someone's got to stand up for us, and I'd encourage others with a platform or a business in our industry to do so if you can. You would have seen that Victoria's petition, which now has over 30,000 signatures, has gained a fair bit of mainstream media attention. Because of that, you're going to see terms like redneck and, in my case, neo-Nazi thrown around in an effort to delegitimise what we're trying to do. I don't think there's any secret that there are rednecks in our midst. People who couldn't care less about the bush and are happy to leave their shit everywhere and drive off into the sunset. But we all shouldn't be tarred with the same brush. We need to call out that behaviour when we see it and pick after the dirty grubs if we have to. I've gone to the point of carrying half-full cans of bourbon out of a cave. Not enjoyable, but sometimes you've got to do what you've got to do. I'd encourage parks to fine the ever-living shit out of people caught dumping rubbish as well. Great Northern, probably by accident, stumbled into the debate a few weeks ago and copped a fair pizzling. They were getting involved with an organisation whose main purpose is to buy more land and hand it over to parks. In a perfect world, this would be fine. The real sentiment behind the uproar is more about what happens to the land after it's turned into a national park. I'm sure if it was well managed and people like us had good access to it, adding more land to parks wouldn't be an issue for any of us in the outdoor recreation space. Now here comes the controversial part. I'm only bringing this up because I don't believe the majority of people know about it. National parks across Australia have plans to hand back the land under their control to traditional owners. Great. But what does this actually mean? Each national park is located in a different traditional owner's tribal area, or sometimes a park will be located in more than one. So when they say they are handing it back, it means the parks will be handed back to organisations representing traditional owners. Now there's 121 local land councils in New South Wales, so what the plan entails is handing the parks back, then paying lease payments to these type of organisations, which are then meant to be spent on the park in a joint management situation. The potential problem here, as with most things with government, is another layer of bureaucracy. We as taxpayers will actually be paying the lease payments, something that we have no say over. We will be paying the lease payments for more and more land that gets handed over, with no guarantee we will be able to enjoy it in the future. There are places like Mount Warning that are now completely closed, or even a place like Mungo National Park where you're forced to pay $130 for a family of 4 to go on a guided bushwalk if you want to see certain sections of the park. Paid guided tours should be an option, but the cost of living puts this out of reach for a lot of families. If this was private property, that's fine, but they should still be able to enjoy their own public land without it breaking the bank. Again, the purpose of our New South Wales petition is to hold parks to account about closures and at least get us involved in the conversation about what's going to happen in the future. We don't want to see our parks closed or the public put in a position where they can't afford to enjoy public land. Parks have enough trouble looking after what they've got now without adding another level of bureaucracy, thousands more hectares of land and another vector for potential government wastage that we all know and love. Now, have you heard the term 30 by 30? I myself didn't know anything about it till recently. This is a commitment that the Australian government has signed on to at the World Economic Forum to lock up 30% of our land and sea by the year 2030. I'm not touting some conspiracy theory here. Tanya Plibersek signed onto this in 2022. Go and look it up. If this involves putting up gates, letting weeds and pests get out of control, and then creating a huge fire risk that ends up destroying the place and its inhabitants, I don't think it's something I want to support. If it means that we conserve the land and still get to enjoy it, I'm all for it. We just don't know. I guess the best thing to do, if you care about your access to public land, is to sign the petition and to use your vote. I'm not telling you who to vote for, but check up on their history and find out what they are about. It may well be an independent that you agree with the most, and getting away from the two major parties might scare them into getting back to looking after their constituents. That's it for me, legends. I look forward to the messages calling me a right-wing Nazi apologist or whatever. Oh, and one thing, please don't take all this out on your local national parks workers. They are doing the best they can with the tools and funding they have available. I'll speak to you next time, legends, unless I get cancelled. You!